Well, it's that time again. Let's walk in faith, talk about anime, and grow together. Welcome to Reb's Otaku Talk. Hey Otaku family, welcome to Reb's Otaku Talk Studio Ghibli Fest. I'm your host Reb, and with me are my co-host K2.
Howdy, howdy.
And Raver Mom.
Hi.
And getting the biggest birthday present she could ever ask for is Princess Mininoke.
Hello.
This season we're diving deep into the whimsical, heartfelt worlds of Studio Ghibli, where fantasy meets faith and wonder points us back to the creator. Whether you're a lifelong Ghibli fan or just discovering these animated masterpieces, we're here to explore each story through the lens of Christian values. From the skies of Laputa to the forest of Totoro, we'll uncover powerful themes, spiritual insights, and the beauty of God's truth woven into every frame. So grab your favorite snack, open your heart, and get ready for the journey where faith and fandom soar together. This is your Christ Walk with Otaku Talk. Studio Ghibli Fest starts now. Today's episode, we will immerse ourselves into the world of Princess Mononoke to take a deeper look into some of the women of the Bible and how God used them to do some extraordinary things. Princess Mononoke was made in 1997. It is a stunning and thought-provoking animated film directed by Hayao Miyazaki and produced by Studio Ghibli. The story follows Ashitaka, a young prince from a remote village who becomes cursed by a demon boar while protecting his people. In search of a cure, he journeys west and finds himself caught in a fierce conflict between the forest gods, led by the wolf goddess Moro and her human companion San, or Princess Mononoke, and the humans of Irontown, led by Lady Eboshi, who seeks to expand her settlement by clearing the forest for industry. As Ashitaka witnesses both the destruction caused by human ambition and the wrath of nature's spirits, he strives to bring peace between the two sides. The film explores deep themes of environmental balance, the cost of progress, and humanity's place in the natural world. With breathtaking animation, powerful symbolism, and moral complexity, Princess Mononoke remains one of Miyazaki's most impactful works. A timeless story of conflict, compassion, and coexistence. So this was, I want to say, probably the second Ghibli movie I ever seen.
Okay.
So I've watched this one for quite a while, and each time I watch it, I still see something new. And along with that, every time I watch it, I'm also amazed by how true to the time period it is. Whenever it comes to the strategies that some of them had in battle, to the accuracies and of the fears that they had at that time, the technology that they had, along with a lot of the mythology that went along with that time period as well. So I love how accurate it is to the time period, and that's one thing with Miyazaki's movies, is that he tries to stay true to that. So I have mad props for him. I wouldn't rate it as one of my favorites, but it definitely is nowhere near the bottom. I mean, me personally, just to get stuff flowing, I would rate it about a 7-8.
Okay. That's pretty high.
I mean, I'd rate it high just because of the fact that it's you see a lot of the world.
Mm-hmm.
It's constantly moving. The story builds really good, and not only does it, begin pretty well, it actually ends pretty decent as well. And story for a time period story where there's wars being waged on two planes. To me, he did a phenomenal job with it. What'd you think about it?
I loved it. It was a shock when I first saw it. I didn't expect it to be that violent. That was a bit of a shock compared to all the others that we've seen.
Yes.
But I I really did enjoy it, mainly for a lot of the same points you had with the time period and the setting, the world building.
Mm-hmm.
I give it a solid 8.
You give it an 8?
Yeah.
All right. Raver Mom, what'd you think about it?
So this is a weird movie for me, only because the first few times that I've seen it, I actually didn't watch it. I was listening to it because it played in the back part. I had a car that had screens in the headrest, and the kids would watch it. I know that sounds probably bad, but the kids would watch it, so I'd hear it on the TV or on the little screens, through the car system.
Yeah.
And I thought it was kind of a cool movie. I didn't realize until I actually watched it, because of course Rev watched it and knew what it's about. So I didn't think anything of it until I watched it and I saw, oh, there goes a limb, there goes a head, there goes, a couple of arms, I was like, oh, okay. And then when they reached Irontown and there was this guy that I'm watching it and I zoned in on one part of the screen and all of a sudden, on the other side, there's this backside nakedness. And I was like, okay. And we're letting all of our kids watch this. Sure.
The guy was, it is basically their bathing suit.
I understand that. I just, so yeah, I mean, word to any parent out there that doesn't want any of that. It does have that in it. So I think I'd rate it a 7.
That right there is just part of what shows that it's very true to the time period.
Yeah.
It is that if you take all of that into account, yes, I would agree. It is it definitely is true to the time period. But I don't think
You don't want to see backside, gotcha.
I don't, not necessarily, not even in a cartoon. But yeah, so I rated a 7.
All right. Princess Mininoke, you're like the short version of Princess Mononoke, which is pretty much where your name for the podcast came from. What do you think about the movie?
I kind of agree with Raver Mom about there's a limb lost and all that. But the part that really cringed me is when the prince's hands started moving and it started creeping me out a bit.
Gotcha. A little history to this movie for Princess Mononoke. If I am not mistaken, this is the first Ghibli movie she ever watched when she was little.
Yes, it was.
Because, as Raver Mom said, we used to have a car that had screens in the headrest, so whenever they would go on long trips, especially if I wasn't there, I'd make sure that I'd make a DVD that I had all the digital copies for, and I'd make like a multi-movie DVD where they could just stick it into the DVD player, and it would just play 3 to 4 movies.
Man, kids have it so easy these days now on long car rides.
We don't have the TVs in the headrest anymore.
Yeah, we don't have that anymore, and honestly, that was probably the only thing I liked about that car.
Yeah, that's the reason why I want to
trunk.
stick a set into the car that we got now, just because I was originally going to stick it in the Otaku box, and now I still want to stick them into the new car. But yeah, whenever she was little, and I think it was they were going out of state, and I had to stay for work, and I made the DVD, and Princess Mononoke was like the second movie in it. So that was her introduction to Studio Ghibli. Princess Mononoke, what would you rate it 1 out of 10?
Maybe an 8.5.
Okay. So that pretty much rates this movie at a solid 8. 2 8s, an 8.5, and a 7.
Yeah.
Oh, you gave it like a 7.5 because you said 7 8, right?
No, I said 7.
7.
Yeah, she said
Okay,
7.
So it's pretty much a solid 8. It is critically, it is a really good movie. As Raver Mom briefly brought up, parentally, your kids will probably need to be a little bit more mature to watch this movie. Just because of the fact that we do have, as Raver Mom put it, one butt shot. and multiple scenes where you see limbs flying off.
I will say though, with that, it's not like bloody. It literally is just, oh, his head's over there now, or his limbs are on the tree. There's not a lot of blood versus some of the other,
Yeah, that would have like a Demon Slayer.
Yeah, like Demon Slayer, how there's like blood everywhere. Versus this, it's literally like, it's very choppy, for lack of a better way of. Do you know what I mean? Like the scene, it like.
Yes, it sliced so fast that the blade heated up and cauterized
right,
everything.
like there's not a lot of ooey gooey-ness. It's like you know the arrow was shot or the blade was hit, and so and some of that parts are kind of far off too. So
yeah,
I mean it's not a lot of up close and personal.
Well, I guess the style that I would kind of relate that to is like back in the day on like Looney Tunes and stuff like that. Here in America, whenever, they do those things where they would, saw the character in half during a bad magic show, and oops, we actually did saw through you, and they'd flip it open and it'd look like a
ham or something.
Ham steak. Yeah, that's what I would kind of relate it to with, that is the amount of gore. It's Looney Tunes. But yeah, even still, I'd say just make sure they're a little bit more mature. I mean, it's not so bad that you would be like older teen, but it's not so
upper middle school.
Yeah. I wouldn't go below that, even though I did.
Yes, you very much allowed.
Hey, the first time I watched it, I was in like 5th grade. So.
When did I watch it?
You were like 3, 4.
You were a toddler.
But from what I know, you fell asleep halfway through it.
You did, yeah.
You didn't see almost any of that stuff except for the one shot at the beginning.
Where the 2 arms came off and the head came off?
Well, see, she remembers that very well.
Well, because we just watched it.
But yeah, so from a Christian standpoint, again, it's Japan, so it's a lot of the Japanese mythology and everything that goes along with it. And, the butt shot. Beyond that, it has really good morals to it. It is, despite the amount of gore that we're talking about, that's not so gory. It is a big fight to preserve human life and to preserve nature. So, I mean, at that point, it does kind of align with our beliefs as Christians. So, I mean, really, it's as every episode, use discernment. If your child is not mature enough to see it as mythology, then it's probably not a movie to watch for them at this point. If you are uncomfortable with watching stuff that brings in mythology, then it's not really the movie for you. But beyond that, it is a good movie. There's pretty much no language at all in it. It's just, it is a period correct war film in animation form, and it's actually a very decent one. But like I said, use discernment and watch it and make the decision for yourself.
Yep.
The great thing about Princess Mononoke, it is also a big movie that embodies women of strength. It is a heroine story versus a hero story.
Yep.
And I love how they gave the women strength without demeaning their personalities or their standpoints or anything like that. They showed how women can be bold in being a woman and it shows their natural strengths. And it is really cool to watch a movie like this, which is probably the reason why I didn't feel bad letting Princess Mininoke watch it, was because of the fact that I do believe that it is a positive reinforcement for women.
Yep.
Especially from the many standpoints that they had in this movie, from leadership to faith to standing for what you believe in, and just showing raw strength, not just in personality, but in what they can accomplish.
Yeah.
And looking at this, for me, I can, look to women in the Bible who had a lot of the same characteristics. And, well, being the lead woman on the podcast, Raver Mom, is there a woman figure in the Bible that you could say that you look up to, or that you thought is just a really cool story?
Honestly, I was wondering why you were looking at me like that and where you were going. Is there someone in particular? Honestly, no. Not in particular. I feel like it depends on what season I'm in my life. There for a while, I looked to the story of Esther, and how she went through the struggles that she went through and had to be bold in who she was and confident in where she came from. And then at times I felt like I was some of the other women when, one had to be humble or strong or meek or selfish, like depending on what season I'm in, I feel like it just depends on who you're going to relate to the most. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you brought up Esther. What are some things that, we could learn from Esther?
Well, I mean, one of the biggest thing is just remembering, just remembering to be strong in her own self. And, I mean, she had to hide who she was for a reason, and I totally understand the reason. But whenever it needed to be known, she was extremely strong and confident in that. And it might have taken her a couple of times, but when it meant the most that she needed to stand up for herself and her people, she risked everything to be able to prove that, and show that she cared for her people. And, I mean, in turn, God blessed her for it.
Yeah, that's definitely true. I mean, it kind of reminds me of that word that we had in kids' church today, and it gave the definition for meekness. Is it strength in silence? Meekness is a strength that is quiet. I mean, it's like, normally you think of the meek, you think of somebody who's weak, but it's not really weakness to be meek. You're in silence until the moment whenever you need to be heard. Yeah. And it's strength, it's strength in waiting. And Ruth had that by the load.
Yeah.
Not Ruth, Esther.
Esther
had that in the load.
Yeah.
And Esther is one of my favorite women in the Bible. So it's really cool to to bring her up, because she was a very strong woman figure, in the Old Testament. Princess Mononoke, you got a favorite lady in the Bible?
I feel like you can help me with this one. Mary, Jesus' mother, when she was listening, and Mary Magdalene was just trying to prepare everything in the house.
That's not Mary. What? That's not Mary, the mother of Jesus.
And that's not Mary Magdalene. You're talking about Mary and Martha?
Mary and Martha, the sisters of
Lazarus.
Yes.
All right, so you are talking about Mary and her sister Martha. Martha was the busybody in the kitchen who got upset because Mary was sitting at the feet of Jesus, soaking in what Jesus had to say, right? What do you find empowering reading the story of Mary?
She put Jesus before everything else to sit at his feet and listen to him.
Okay. And how's that empowering?
That I need to put everything that I want to do after Jesus.
So make sure your life is Christ-centered.
All right.
Makes sense.
I like it. K2, is there a woman in the Bible that you...
There is not.
There is not?
No.
Okay.
I do have another one.
Okay.
And that's what I was trying to, while we were trying to assist Mininoke over there. I never can remember her name, ever.
Okay.
Neither one of them. I'm always wrong whenever I go to tell the story, and I'm like often who knows where with all these names. But the one about Ruth and Naomi,
Okay.
about how Naomi's the mother-in-law,
Mm-hmm.
and Ruth is extremely loyal to her and follows her. A lot of times people will forget that at the beginning of that story, that whole thing with Ruth and Naomi, is there's actually another daughter-in-law in that story, and at the beginning, and Ruth and Naomi tells Ruth and this other daughter-in-law to go back to your homelands, go back to your families.
Yeah.
And one did. And then Ruth is like, no, I am sticking with you. You are my family now. And to me, just to show that much loyalty to someone who isn't your blood relative, it speaks volume. I mean, it's like, right? I mean, because a lot of times people say blood's thicker than water. They use that phrase. They use it incorrectly, but, you know, we're family. We're related. We're cut from the same cloth. And,
Yeah.
I mean, it all has to do with loyalty. It all has to do with relationships. It all has to do with, you know, that foundation and that built, what's built in between, you know, what experiences you've gone through. And Ruth and Naomi went through a lot together. They lost family members. They lost she lost her son. He lost her husband, or she lost her husband. Naomi lost a lot, but through everything, even whenever they went to the new land and she met Boaz, she still followed Naomi's lead. She still listened. She still took her wisdom. And to me, that's pretty, you know.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
awesome.
I thought about that as well when, you know, preparing for this episode, and the importance of it that is hard to be missed is the fact that Ruth was not Jewish.
Mm-hmm.
And back in the day, whenever you were to marry another culture, the woman would then take the religion and culture of the husband.
Mm-hmm.
And so she was a Gentile that basically married into the Jewish faith, so to speak. And the fact that whenever she was released from her obligation, so to speak, that she remained and she took the identity of a Jewish woman, speaks
A lot of strength.
a lot. That's a ton of strength.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe in the whenever Naomi released her and she refused, she said basically no. Where you go, I'll go.
Mm-hmm.
Where you stay, I'll stay. Your God will be my God.
Yep. She basically pledged the rest of her life to Naomi to be her daughter.
And it speaks a plethora of, you know, character from Ruth. And I mean, You said her strength, her wisdom, her heart. And in that story, you see her humility. She was a very humble, strong woman.
Yeah.
And to be humble and strong at the same time,
That's a rare trait.
I mean, even for, woman or man, that's a very rare trait to have both. And
she cared for Naomi as if that was her own mother.
Yeah.
Throughout that entire story. I mean, it's one of those really, I mean, the Bible's full of a lot, but that was the other female story that I was trying to remember the characters, their names, and like I said, I always get them wrong. So, but anyways,
another woman that comes to mind for me is Deborah from the Book of Judges.
Oh yeah, the only female judge.
I mean, this woman was a woman of such faith and strength that the military leadership refused to go into battle if she wasn't at the front with them.
Wow.
I mean, she was wise and she was brutal but gentle. I mean, I have no other way of saying it. She had, just the soft touch of a woman, but it was such, strength to it. And being the only woman judge, which back then the judge was a big deal. And to be taken as a woman in that position is huge.
And she did a lot too. She was one of the more positive judges. Where they a lot through the Book of Judges, they, that's why it's called that. And she was one of the ones that actually made a big difference versus some of the other ones that really didn't do that well.
She was very wise. And I personally, I think, taking all of these women and looking back to Princess Mononoke, you can see where both San and Lady Eboshi had that, both of them had those characteristics in some way, shape, or form. I mean, Princess Mononoke was more of a, save the trees type person, where, and in her leadership, she showed compassion and love and respect for nature. And no matter how much she disliked humanity, whenever Ashitaka came into the picture, she kept saying she hated him, but you can tell she did.
Yeah.
And then Lady Eboshi, she was a woman of leadership. She wanted to lead her people to the next step.
Yep.
And one of the biggest things is that all of the women that worked in her village, that were a part of her village, she saved all of them from brothels.
Yep.
And she gave them a new life and a new identity, and she wanted to build a better world for them and empower them where their power and identity was stripped away from them.
Yep.
And I think that, that speaks a lot of strength and compassion and love even there.
Mm-hmm.
I think the biggest difference between the two, and I guess not really even a difference, is whenever they were out of the public eye, they showed that meekness.
Yep.
The reasoning behind their strength they held in silence.
Mm-hmm.
And, they let that empower them. I mean, do you see any other parallels between...
No,
No?
I think you hit the nail on the head. You did a good job. Yay!
In Princess Mononoke, we see powerful women like San and Lady Eboshi, each embodying strength, conviction, and courage in vastly different ways. San fights fiercely to protect the forest and the spirit she calls family, while Lady Eboshi boldly leads her people with compassion and vision, even if her actions bring destruction. Their stories mirror many women of the Bible, like Deborah, who led the Israelites with wisdom and strength, or Esther, who used her position to protect her people. Both the film and the scripture remind us that God often works through courageous women who stand firm in their convictions, even in the face of conflict. Just as San and Eboshi learn that true strength comes not from domination, but from understanding and compassion. We are reminded that the women of faith throughout the Bible found their greatest power in trusting God's purpose, whether standing for justice, nurturing community, or defending what's sacred. Their legacy, and that of Miyazaki's heroines, call us to seek peace, act with courage, and honor the divine balance between creation and our calling within it. What is one thing that you saw in Princess Mononoke that you would say impacted you the most? Princess Mininoke.
How the prince wanted to protect the life in the forest and the animals and the humans and tried to help them live together in peace.
So you were...
She was more impacted by the boy.
Yeah. Forget the women of the story. She learned everything she needed to from a man.
How about this?
Leave it to the teenage girl to pay attention to the boy.
How about this when the wife came over to her husband that got saved by the boy and started yelling at him?
So what did you get from that?
I can yell at men when they do things that are
Oh my goodness.
I mean, she's not wrong. It's not a good lesson to have, but it is a message.
Well, now we know that I don't have to worry about her getting married. Gotcha. All right. No boys because she's going to scare them off.
Well, I didn't scare you off.
You weren't yelling at me either. At least not till the ring was on.
That's how it always is.
And all of this is not going to be on the podcast.
All
What?
bloopers.
Why not?
You want it on there? Fine.
Oh my.
You showed me your power when the ring was on.
I kind of feel like you knew that part of me,
I knew that
Or-
you were strong as snot.
or that I mean, not the strong part, the independent part. Because honestly, I feel like that's where we clashed.
Yeah,
A lot
that was where we clashed.
is because that's how I was raised, to be independent, not dependent on a man or whatever. I kind of feel like that's what I liked a lot about the movie, is in the Iron Town with the brothel women
Yeah.
and all that, how they depended on the men but didn't depend on
Yeah.
the men. Like, it was like an equal kind of trade, you know? Like, the men did their part, the women did their part. And I mean, granted, the women might have been a little more on the hierarchy, but at the same time, like, they still took care of the men. They still respected the men. They still, I mean, in their own way, you know? I mean, because when she came down that mountain and she was yelling at him, it wasn't because of the fact that she was trying to disrespect him. It was like, it was her way of showing, like, I'm so glad you're not dead.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, I have a feeling the way she reacted would be the way you would react.
yeah, like, get your stuff and let's go. I mean, because, like, if you actually think about it, a strong woman like that isn't going to really show her soft side in public.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Yeah, no, that I saw that woman screaming at him, and I was like, "Yep, that's Raver Mom."
I don't know if that's a compliment.
It
I think
is.
it is.
It is a big compliment. You are a strong woman with a big heart, and if I were to just disappear and you were to think that I was dead or something like that, and I showed back up, you'd be yelling at me.
Well, I definitely would.
And then
because you
as
just
I
put me
look at you
through
and
all
be
that.
like, why in the world are you yelling at me? I didn't do anything. And then you'd look at me and go, well, geez, maybe you should have died. Then I could have got another husband.
You know what? I shall remember this, just so you know.
What?
That way, if it ever happens, I'm going to do exactly that.
And then I'm going to fall to the floor laughing just because I know where it's coming from.
Oh, my goodness.
So was there a point in the movie that you think impacted you, K2?
I don't think so. I mean, I always like the theme of industrialization versus nature.
Yeah.
And I'm always picking the side of industrialization.
Of course, because
Kill the animals.
computers would not
Exactly.
exist. Yeah, but you got to remember, last episode he was, what would you ask the animals? Well, I think I'd ask every dog if their owners are nice.
Yeah,
Well, dogs are different.
dogs are different. Dogs are family.
But without other animals, the dogs wouldn't eat.
Yeah. Oh, we give them kibble.
I mean, people gotta die sometime.
Wow. Now it's like Raj from Big Bang Theory. I would happily be the num-nums. Wow.
You know, the sad part is you did that so well. Listen, I'm with K2. There's a point where animals have their place, and then there's a point where, you know, they don't. Dogs are one thing. I feel like dogs can be a companion and, you know, someone to be there for you. At the same time, they could be trained to work, and where a cat lazes around, and I could care less if it was here or not. I mean, I'd be sad if she left. So, I mean, but you know, I get it. I get it.
Did you get anything out of the movie, Raver Mom?
Yeah, that, you know, if something happens to you and then you come back after putting me through all that stress, I'm going to yell at you. We went over that, remember?
Okay. As long as that's where we're at.
Oh, and I want a wolf.
You want a wolf?
Big and white.
Yeah.
It can change colors in the summer.
I want a wolf.
Well, they're bringing them back, so
I know, right?
Well, the only legal ones are hybrids, so
Yep, I want a hybrid wolf.
a hybrid wolf. Okay, when the kids are out of the house. If you could sit down with one woman of the Bible, who would it be, and what would the top question you would ask them be?
Eve, what was your problem?
Well, what happened was...
My goodness. Listen, when my third graders find out at the beginning of the year, so if Eve and Adam didn't eat the apple, we'd all be naked?
Yes, no fig leaves for you.
Technically, yes, you are right. Man.
Of course, technically, you probably wouldn't be at school right now if she didn't eat the apple.
Yeah.
we would
So
have
to speak.
replicators everywhere. We wouldn't need school.
Yeah. Yeah, that
We would have all the knowledge in the world that we need to live, and we would just be in a 100% constant state of joy. Could you imagine that, being in a world just where you're just happy all the time?
no, I'd be
worry
trying
in
to
the world.
figure out what everyone's eating.
Raver Mom be like, show me the tree.
Yeah, no, I've seen where this goes, and it does not go in good places from my fantasies that I indulge in of Warhammer 40k. So
Warhammer.
yeah,
Oh, okay. Okay. So is this supposed to be funny or serious?
This is the funny question.
yeah.
Okay, good.
Well, it is a fun question, but so far it's hilarious. We can go.
I went the right direction.
It is supposed to be a fun question. I mean, your answer can be serious, it can be funny, it can be whatever.
You know, as a mom, though, I'd probably talk to Mary, Jesus' mom,
Okay, why?
just to see how it was to be, I mean, from a mom perspective, just to see how he was as a child. Because, I mean, it doesn't really talk about Other than when he runs, well, he doesn't run
Yeah,
away,
when he
but
was, like around 12.
whenever
got-
but I mean, like, as a toddler and adolescent years, and, just to kind of have that filler info of how it was, and when you found out he was going to be the Christ, and, like, what went through her mind, and did she know that he was going to die, and, like, I don't know, just to get her...
I mean,
she'd do it all over again, but
yeah.
like, I don't know, just...
Did you pay attention to all the prophecies that you were told in Tipple? I think that would be the biggest question. What?
Nothing.
I mean, a lot of the Jewish kids grew up hearing stories, but it was mostly the males, not so much the females. So that is actually a really good question. Did she know exactly what the Messiah was going to go through from the very beginning? Or was she just as stunned? That is a whole different question.
Yeah.
You can wreck your brain trying to figure that out.
I mean, because, all those... Like, even, like, the president... Like, when someone becomes president, did that mom ever imagine their child, their son, being president? Or a big CEO, or an actress, or an actor, or... You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
or an astronaut,
Yeah.
or... Like...
Podcast host. Yeah.
Well, your mom knew that was going to happen. Because you just weird all around.
So that means that everybody who is annoyed by the song Mary Did You Know realistically can't be annoyed by it because of the fact that historically there's a shot she didn't know anything.
Yeah, because there are people that get very upset about that. And it's like, yeah, she did know. Well, I mean, though, did she? Like, did she really?
Yeah.
I mean, she knew he was going to be, she was carrying God's son. Like, she knew all of that. But, like, how much past that did she know?
Yeah.
Because it doesn't let on. Like, how did she feel about it? It probably doesn't matter. But as a mom, it matters to me.
Yeah. So, K2, is there a question you would ask a woman in the Bible?
No, I don't think... I go with Raver Mom's answer for kind of like, the same query.
Eve, what in the world were you thinking?
You know what we could do? Judas's mama, smack her in her head.
Miss Iscariot, we're here to talk to you about your son Judas.
I mean, but granted, I guess if that all didn't happen, we wouldn't have the Savior.
Yeah.
All of that. But I'd still smack her in the head after.
We also wouldn't have the tales of vampires. Okay.
Anyways.
Princess Mininoke.
I
What would you ask a woman in the Bible? Who would you ask?
I don't know.
She'd go with Martha. You like that story. Mary, not Martha. No, we could ask Mary, what in the world is your problem, chick?
I thought it was Martha who was cleaning.
That's not what I said. Martha, what would you...
So, Martha, while Jesus was speaking and you didn't take that opportunity to do so, what were you doing in the kitchen?
She was preparing food.
So is chopping a salad and preparing
she was
week-old bread really worth missing out on that?
Well, I mean, wouldn't you want to prepare food for a guest?
Because at that point, he's known as the king.
I think at that point, if I
Or
were
the
to
Messiah.
ask a question to Martha, if I were to ask her any question, since she seems to be the more hospitable one, because Jewish tradition is whenever somebody who traveled a long way came to your house, their tradition was is that you stop them at the threshold and you wash their feet before they enter into your home. What was it like washing Jesus's feet and having the honor to do it multiple times. I mean, really, you got to think Jesus washed the disciples' feet at the Last Supper, but traditionally, Martha and Mary would have had to have washed his feet the multiple times that he came to their house. That right there is something to think about.
Oh, I got a question. I got a question I might ask Deborah.
What would you ask Debbie?
Please don't call her that.
What was it like to be the first... Wait, was she the first woman judge?
She was the
She
only.
was the only woman judge.
Yeah, what was it like to be surrounded by men almost all the time?
Seeing as they were begging her for her help, she probably felt pretty good. Princess Mononoke challenges us to look deeper at our hearts and how we respond to the struggles between creation, purpose, and conviction. Just like the women of the Bible, we are reminded that faith, courage, and compassion can shape the world around us when we choose to listen, learn, and lead with love. And now it's time for questions in a cup.
Yay!
Yay! Raver
I
Mom.
thought you were going to say silly songs.
And now it's the time for Silly Songs with Larry. The part of the show where Larry sings a
Give
silly
this.
song. Now's the time for Questions in a Cup. The part of the show where we read questions from a cup. Now, without further ado, questions from a cup.
Oh my goodness gracious.
All right, I will draw the first question from the cup. What are your thoughts on the Dr. Stone anime? Holy cow, I have been dreading this question for so long.
Never seen
Because
it.
I actually started watching Dr. Stone last year while me and K2 were working at the high school.
They're coming out with a new season.
Oh, that's
I
terrible.
saw, I think, like, the first season of it, and, like, that was it.
I think it is hilarious. Once it gets rolling, it is as funny as can be.
So why were you dreading the
Because of the fact that it is a show where they deny faith completely and they are all about science.
Oh.
It is a science, like, there are points where they bring faith and science at each other, but because the show is so science focused, science is always the overtaker, but faith always has that grinding undertone. So, I mean, it is a funny show to watch. The science behind all the experiments and everything that they do on there
Yep.
is pretty accurate.
It's real, yeah.
How to build a rudimentary steam engine, how to make a generator out of nothing. I mean, how to make a soda
Yeah.
with nothing to make a soda, you know? It is, all of it is pretty crazy, cool, accurate stuff, but the whole premise behind everything is that, and it even said it in one episode, which is around the time whenever I kind of stopped watching it, which is around like season 3, the guy proclaimed that science was his god, and he worshipped science, and I'm like, okay, I've got to slack off on this because it's going in a weird direction. But I always wondered, because they are at a time, the show is basically based about a event happened and it turned humanity into stones, and they were stuck in these stone bodies for over 1 million years until the guy who's, becomes Dr. Stone is broken free of his stone, his stone prison. And there were already, there were people in space during the time of that whole thing. And those people, they returned to Earth by the skin of their teeth. and those people started like tribes. They were the start of the tribes that would be on Earth at the time that they woke up from their stone naps, so to speak. And it was all about fast progress. Let's see how fast we can, and you'll even see it. We have entered the industrial age.
Yes, be run evolution, or not evolution, but yeah, technological ages.
And my whole thing behind it is there comes a point through all of that stuff where, even now, scientists, they search and search and search and search and search for the answer of how we started. They look at string theory and dark matter and the Big Bang theory and all of this stuff. And a lot of your scientists and physicists are coming to the conclusion of, we have broken this down all the way to the smallest basic piece of a molecule, of an atom, of all of this stuff. And the only conclusion that we can come to is it had to be created and there is a God. So my whole thing behind it, and why I'm kind of curious to continue, like to start it back up, is I would love to see if they ever get to that point.
Mm-hmm.
Because the first physicist to ever come to that conclusion was from either Japan or China.
Okay.
And I would love to see if they get to that point in that show where they have to, they get to that point where they are back so technologically advanced that they have to face that question. But yeah, no, it's one of those shows where it's like, I enjoyed it, but I didn't care for the direction it was going in.
Okay.
But the curiosity of, will it follow the natural order that science is already making, to where they have to face that question? And I would love to see if it gets to that point or not.
Interesting.
But yeah, that's my look on Dr. Stone.
Sounds cool.
Okay. K2, you got anything on Dr. Stone?
Just like I said earlier, I really only remember watching the first season of it, maybe going into the second.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And then after that, I kind of just, I would like to continue watching it, but I just haven't had the time to pick it back up.
Yeah, so I just gave you a bunch of spoilers.
Yeah. not really. Like I knew what goes on and how he creates stuff, so.
Yeah, I'm talking about how there were still people there.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, that part I knew.
Okay. All right, who wants to draw next? Mininoke, you want to draw a question?
Yeah, Mininoke can.
Is there anything in the Bible that scares you?
Ooh.
When they whipped Jesus with the 9 cattails.
The cat of 9 tails.
Yeah, when there's glass and pieces of sharp bone and all that gets whipped on Jesus' back. But there is this thing I learned last week or 2 weeks ago where if you get whipped 40 times, you were sentenced to death.
Yeah, at that point, you were going to die. You've lost so much blood and there's no way to heal it.
So, did Jesus get 30 to 39 times?
Yeah, he didn't quite get 40. They wanted him to suffer. So they didn't give him the death beating. They wanted him to suffer because they wanted him to die publicly on a cross. Yeah, I think they whipped him 39 times. It was one beating away from it.
And when they went to the cross, they did that because when they're up there, their arms are spread so wide that they'll start losing oxygen because how high they're up.
Well, that's not it's because of your muscles, and you can't breathe. Yeah. It's not the altitude.
Yeah, it's all on how wide they have the chest opened up. That is a scary thing to think about. And honestly, because we watched My Last Day, and that was one of the key things in that anime that they showed, where whenever he was witnessing Jesus being beaten, the look that he had in his eyes was terror.
Yep.
So I mean, it's a scary thing to think about.
Yeah.
You know, and if you were actually there, it'd probably be even worse. Anybody else have an answer to the question? Anything scary in the Bible besides Eve eating the fruit?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of things I think that are scary in the Bible, but I feel like if you do what, you're supposed to do as a Christ follower and stuff like that, then being afraid, shouldn't be there. But I feel like at that point, though, at the same time, we're human, and so we're going to be afraid, like, naturally.
I mean, right now, we're at a point where we see a lot of people who are afraid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all over social media. Everybody's talking about the end times, which we've known for years that we were in the end times. It's just now we're seeing a lot more prophecy being fulfilled, and you can see the panic on everybody from it.
I mean, I feel like it goes into a cycle. Like, I feel like I remember watching, like, I think it was the History Channel or something like that years ago in, like, the early 2000s, and they were kind of going over the same thing. I think it's just a cycle.
I mean,
we go in and out of.
There is a cycle of panic whenever it comes to biblical prophecy, because in the back in the early 60s, 70s, they went through a massive scare, especially going in and out of wars constantly since like the 30s. And it was wars and rumors of wars, and that continued to progress on through the 2000s, and even now we have an abundance of wars. It's just America's not involved in too many of them, and if we are, it's not being talked about too much. But politically we're involved. And then, I mean, now I think the biggest fear factor that people have now is it's getting down to the smaller details as compared to what it was back in the day. Whenever, I think I remember watching that special too. Because now you got the Euphrates drying up. You've got the one of the seas that are over there that turned like blood red for a reason that they couldn't find. They couldn't.
Oh, really? Yeah, I haven't heard that.
They couldn't explain it, and it went blood red, and then it dissipated. No, it's not. It's just a freak thing that happened. And, there's a lot of other small stuff that people are talking about. Now all these false prophets and false messiahs are starting to show up, and it's starting to get people really scared because of the fact that now all the small details of Revelation are starting to be fulfilled. And all the, the other prophecies from like Daniel, they're starting to come to be. And, it's causing a panic, especially now where it's like, oh, I had a vision that on September 23rd it was going to be our last, Jesus was going to return on the 23rd. Well, but, we've got to step back and calm down because we don't know the day nor the hour. And if we spend the entire time worrying about it, we're going to become more of a problem than we are, a example and solution of Christianity and being a follower of Christ. So, I mean, fear's there, but, the Bible says where God is, fear's not. There's, realistically, if you are a child of God, there's no reason for you to be afraid. Okay, who's pulling the next question?
K2.
Oh, what does it say?
It just says My Hero Academia is entering its final season. in 26.
There's no question.
There's no question.
It's a fact.
It's a fact.
It could be a thought. What are your thoughts on the fact that My Hero is going to be closing out?
Let's see, my thought of My Hero closing out, I think it's definitely going to leave a hole. I mean, it's been a part of the anime scene for the last 10 years almost, right? I think it started in 15, right?
Yeah,
somewhere around there.
Somewhere around there.
So it's definitely taken, one of the big three spots like Bleach, Naruto. It's a whole generation of young otakus that grew up with it. But I can't wait to see the finale of it. I've loved the series from the beginning.
Okay, so now that you said it was one of the big three,
Yeah.
you got to kind of elaborate on that, because a lot of people are like, you can't replace the big three.
No, you can't. But it's definitely
You're saying it's
the
up
next
to that altitude?
generation of the
Okay.
big three.
Yeah.
Not to step on any toes, but I feel like each generation has their own
Yeah,
when it comes to that.
definitely.
I'm not saying like the originals, obviously, that you have the original OG threes, but I feel like each generation, like he was saying, in the last 10 years has been
and
different than what you grew up.
that seems to be like the thing that a lot of the elder millennials are getting to, is the fact that, because you got the younger millennials who are like, don't step on the big three. And the big three, to me, will always be the big three. But the reason why they're called the big three is because they stemmed from the Godfather anime.
Yep.
Yeah.
They stemmed from Grandpa Goku.
Yeah.
And Akira Toriyama, he inspired the creation of what we know as the big three.
Yeah.
And even the creators of the big three, they called Toriyama Sensei.
Yeah.
He was the teacher, the master, he was the guy they went to, and he uplifted them and he nurtured them to create these masterpieces of anime. And that's where I think, you got, I mean, you don't have to call it the big three. You can call it like the Z3, Gen Z's 3, the Alpha 3, the Beta 3, because it's going to show up because of the fact that the Akira Toriyama and Ichiro Oda and the other two guys whose names I can't remember off the top of my head, who created the big three, they inspired another generation of creators to create something. And those guys inspired another generation to create something amazing. And so, I mean, I honestly don't think that, they should be called Big Three, but they definitely should have their spot. Yeah. Because, I mean, you got My Hero, you have Demon Slayer. You've got, I don't want to put Solo Leveling there because I still think Solo Leveling is a clone overrated of everything thrown together. I don't think there's much imagination, and you guys can torture me in the comments about that all you want, but that's my opinion, and I'm sticking to it.
Yep.
But I agree that, that they have that momentum and that feeling and that atmosphere, and they have their spot. It's just not that spot.
You said all that, and it was funny because I was actually reading an article that Oda did an interview, and because there's always the question of One Piece versus Dragon Ball. Uh-huh. And Oda said in the interview that it will always be Dragon Ball first, then One Piece, because of the fact, and he even called Toriyama. Oh my goodness,
Akira Toriyama, you were good. You were
no. He said Toriyama Sensei, and he referenced how the fact that he was the one that inspired him to do what he did, and that he could only imagine being on the same level as the sensei and everything, and that One Piece will always be under Dragon Ball because of the fact that Akira Toriyama was the original inspiration to everything that he has done, which is to me is awesome because he is giving honor to the one that inspired so many and started a chain reaction. But I thought that was kind of funny. That was a recent interview that he had done. So.
Oh, that's really cool.
So that was kind of neat that you were. I'm sitting here thinking, did you read my brain or something?
No, that's just it. It's the way it's always been.
Well,
for me, and that's
he
just
has
the way
actually
it's-
vocalized almost exactly what you said. So
There you go. The wisdom of Rev.
oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Hold on, I'm looking for. Okay, before I move on to my question,
Okay.
I want to give you an update on Demon Slayer.
Okay.
And how it's doing. Only because you asked me the other day, has it reached number 1?
Uh-huh.
It has reached number 1 in Japan.
Finally.
It is number 5 in America.
How?
And it is, I don't know, that's just the article I read.
I mean, it doesn't. It's pretty easy when there's nothing good in theaters. So
Oh, no, I mean, how is it that low?
It's, well, I don't know how old that article was either. But because it also said it has grossed globally $648 million.
See, I thought that there was another one that came out that said that it was grossing over $1 billion right now.
It would almost, it was, I know the one that, I thought the one recent, it was like over 900.
Yeah.
So I feel like this is, but it is number 1 in Japan.
But it finally reached number 1 in Japan. That's
Yeah.
the important part.
yeah,
That I don't know how old the article was, but I was trying to figure out what it was in Japan, and that it did reach after 2 months. It did finally reach number 1,
Finally.
and it is the highest grossing international film
Wow.
as of right now. So
Of course, you said that it's about to be released in China too, right?
yeah, it just released in China, and it made, oh my goodness, the number was like 6.4 million
Jeez.
on its first weekend or
Wow.
something like that.
That's
so
crazy.
yeah.
One
So
weekend.
It's there's, I mean, you'd think it would go, start going on its decline, but still it's so far, and they're even trying to get an Oscar for it, so it's definitely still got a ton of momentum.
Yeah. I saw that it's like broke all the records. Now it's heading for an Oscar,
Yeah.
which would be pretty cool.
Okay, so the question that I pulled is, what's one thing you wish would go out of style forever?
Out of style?
out of style.
Out of style. I got one. I know my answer.
What's your answer?
Slang.
Slang?
Slang.
I cannot
words?
stand slang words. At all.
But they always
Oh.
change though.
Yeah, say what you mean what you say. Like,
No cap.
no,
You can't get the rizzing.
the Riz, the Skibbity Doo, the Sigma, the
Ohio.
6-7, Ohio. I found that out. I have a student, so we're about to do our state project, okay? Every kid in my class gets to pick a state, minus Florida, because 4th grade does Florida. And he's like, I want to do Ohio. And then he goes, Ohio. And I was like, are you chanting because you want the state? And someone goes, no, that's a slang phrase. I'm like, where did that one come from? Like, just, no.
Cue the Simpsons meme of I used to know what in was,
Just,
and it'll happen to you.
I mean, I feel like because I'm saying all of this, I have reached the level of old lady.
If you really want to be annoyed, look up on YouTube Gen Z worship music. It is terrible. Because it is literally worship songs written all in Gen Z slang.
Oh my goodness.
That sounds bad.
That sounds like the worst. I'd rather listen to the chicken songs.
Even people who are Gen Z thought it was terrible, okay?
I'd rather listen to the chicken worship music.
I have a question.
What is your question?
Is tough a slang word?
It could be.
TUFF.
I didn't know Ohio was a slang, and that's a state. I mean,
I would say it's more of a meme than slang.
I had a kid in kids' church today who turns around and looks at me while I'm doing a lesson. Nah, that's cap. That's cap. I'm like, man, whenever I was growing up, cap was something else.
yeah, that was a dangerous word to say.
And did he ask what?
No, he did not. He just looked at me like I was crazy.
Like, I don't remember when I was in middle and high school having words that didn't mean what they meant. But you get what I'm saying, though? Like, I was trying to remember the other day because, I mean, but I've always, I guess I'm just, it's because I'm weird. I feel like I say what you mean what you say. Like, just shut up with the skibbity toilets.
Oh,
Everybody's master of slang from the 80s through the 90s was Pauly Shore.
I don't know who that is, but okay. Oh my goodness. Okay, somebody go next so I can get off my rant.
I would love it if they would ban, or not ban, if... What was the question?
Go out of style
And never come back, right?
and never
I
forever.
really wish that Furbies would go out of style.
Hey! Me and my sister have one in our room.
Yes, and we had
they
to yank
creep us out.
had to yank the batteries out of your sister's because it would turn itself on.
Are
and
they
start
still
talking.
a thing?
Yes.
They re-released them. Only
Yes.
now they have human-like digital eyes and junk.
Oh,
Yes.
that's creepy.
The old ones creep me out.
Yes, you should look at the stores in the toy department. They have mini ones and they have big ones, and then they have some that move and dance, and it's like,
And, they have ones with tails.
And the ones that our daughters have. Yes, Mininoke and Pika have the ones that dance and sing, and you learn their language. And then whenever they are like, they are alive, you know, you woke them up out of the box, and 3 months later, they are randomly waking up in the middle of the night and trying to talk to you.
keep in mind the batteries had died.
They were dead batteries. Like, this thing would not turn on, and then it would turn on and just randomly start having a conversation. And it's like,
And the worst part, K2,
Nightmare fuel.
is
Yes.
when you are walking through the house and you randomly see Furby right outside the girls' door. And you ask them later, why is Furby outside the door? Oh, it decided to turn on and sing something to us. And we were trying to sleep. And so they put it outside their door the middle of the night.
it got so bad that Pika looks at us and goes, Dad, can you take the batteries out of Furby? And then you go to take the batteries out, and you have done nothing to this Furby. You've got it in its sleep position. And then it wakes up and it asks you a question, and you're like, you're about to go to sleep for a long time, Furby.
So yes, Furby came back.
Wow.
And Furby is big.
Mind you, they only eat pizza and you can make them throw up.
Yeah, they've got all different kinds now.
Now Furbies are bulimic.
It's crazy.
The old ones creep me out because of their eyes. Their eyes are huge.
What do you think the new ones do to us?
Well, their eyes look
The
bigger
eyes
than their...
are bigger on the new ones.
The eyes look bigger on these small ones. They look bigger than the ones we have now.
Those are chibi Furbies, and they are knockoffs. Shh. Let's get off of the Furby.
You're the one that brought it up.
Because I had a fantastic answer, and I'm going to stick to it.
Oh my goodness. He's sticking to his answer. Okay. Either one of you got an answer?
You're not gonna like my answer.
Oh.
Oh no.
What?
I would choose EDM.
You heard him.
I told you.
Oh.
Wait. Can you?
K2 cannot leave because I am welcoming him in the house, whether you are upset with him right now or not.
So to give a little background fuel to that, my nickname for this podcast comes from my DJ alias. And I am an electronic DJ by
Yes.
practice and trade. And he just totally and completely stabbed me through the chest.
Listen, K2.
Oh.
I'm sorry. I had to.
If the question
If you
was,
ever ride in a car with me, we're blasting Darren Styles.
if the question was what kind of music you wish would
Yeah.
go out of style, I would have said rap, which would have hurt him too.
It depends what rap we're talking about. Anything from the 80s or from the 90s onward, I would agree with. Get rid of it.
Like 2000s and up.
Yeah. Some 2000s is good, but yeah, most of it just
Yeah.
get rid of.
Yeah.
Are you talking about the old school stuff? Get rid
Yeah.
of it?
No. Keep
No,
the old
Keep
school.
the
2000 and
Yeah.
up,
Oh,
get rid
okay.
of.
Yeah.
Okay. About to say, man, that's like the pinnacle of actual rap.
You know, there was I drove Rev's car the other day, and he was asking me, "Do you want music?" Sure, I don't care. What do you want it on your phone? Blah blah blah. He puts in this little bitty USB whatever into his car, and it's playing. And he goes, "Okay, if you hit this button, it'll go to the next track. If you don't want it to." You know how many songs I skipped?
237.
No, it's like 300 and something on that thing. But I skipped so many. And some of them, most of them were by Baby Raver.
That's the name of the album.
Well, it doesn't matter. Like, oh my goodness. Skip. I didn't even let it play. K2. I just saw the name and I was like, skip. And then finally something, what was it that came on? It was something from when we were growing up. Oh my goodness. Now I can't even think of it. But it was some of the older songs on there. I played it a couple of times and I don't even remember the name of it now. But anyways, yeah. Skip. I was like, oh my goodness. Next time I'm just going to say, please hook my phone up.
What's bad is the Raver Baby album is
Raver Baby.
It is a compilation of EDM DJs who have compiled a mix of songs that you can put together in any order and mix them together flawlessly for an easy set.
Okay.
Sure, whatever.
And so it is literally a
I
compiled. It is compiled. It is literally like 60 songs
Okay.
that you can just.
And I swear, all 60 of them, every other song, that's what it was. The Attillo brothers.
Okay, stand up on the ground.
Some of them came on. There was some other ones, but that was one that I listened to.
And that's pop EDM.
Yep.
Yeah, but that's better than Raver Baby. Oh my gosh.
Which is more hard style EDM.
Like I said, I can't stand the songs.
Yeah.
Like I can listen like the Attillo brothers and their Alan Walker, and there are some few EDM and techno songs or artists that I like. But when you are playing the same stuff over and over in one song, it's like, can you not do anything different?
Yeah.
Granted
that's how I
that
feel.
this mix was originally, like, I originally put it onto the USB drive for the Otaku box whenever I had to drive 16 hours at night to Illinois. And I drove it straight, and that is like my nighttime driving music. I kept it on there. I still play it at night on
Alright.
my way home. It keeps you awake.
and irritates your wife.
Hey, to each his own.
Exactly. That's why you have your car.
So I got a good question to round us off.
Okay, what's your question?
Who's your favorite female character in anime?
Favorite female character in anime? Bulma.
How did I know you were going to pick that answer?
Bulma is my all-time favorite female character.
It's because she has these little cartridges with buttons that poof, something bigger comes out.
Bulma reminds me of Raver Mom through and through. I liked Bulma to begin with, and I always thought that Bulma would be like the perfect woman, and then I married a Bulma. Yep. And now she's looking at me. Either she's mad or...
I'm thinking of an episode
What,
now.
Raver Mom? What's going through your head?
I'm trying to think of an answer while I ignore your question. While I ignore you.
Ignoring me. I think it's a compliment.
I hope it is.
Strong, intelligent woman.
Yep.
I don't know. I don't have one.
Really?
Really?
I'm trying to think.
I got so many running through my head right now.
I
It's
know.
hard to...
Well, because I don't have like a specific one. I guess because I like Nami for her spunkiness and her, you know, like just the way she took care of her friends while trying to also take care of her town and and everything. And then I like Urza because of her leadership and her loyalty and. She made sure that everything, like what she did it with honor. And then I like Bulma for who she is and what she represents. And so, I mean, I guess I just like that kind of character.
All strong women.
Yep.
Yeah. So, I don't have one particular that I act like my top one.
You don't have a top?
Okay.
No. I got a top 3. Is that good enough for you? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, because I'm torn between two. I'm torn between Bella Lyka from Black Lagoon.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Basically a mob boss from the Russian Spetsnaz army.
Strong woman.
Yeah. Yeah. And then Sarah's Victoria from Helsing.
Okay. Strong woman.
Yep.
So, K2 needs a scary, strong woman. So, if there are any scary, strong women out there listening to this podcast, leave a comment. Yes, I'm trying to get you a girl, man.
I need somebody to pal around with.
Yes, Raver Mom needs another woman in the studio. So, we're looking for K2, a girl.
Somebody that won't butt heads with me, though. That's the problem with me. That's pretty cool.
Mininoke. Anime lady.
I like Kiki.
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
I just had one.
Don't say Misty.
No.
Okay. That
I'm not that scared of bugs. You're probably gonna start cracking up. K2, what was that? Well, who was the main character in Girls and Panzer?
Oh my goodness.
Miho?
Yeah.
Okay.
I forgot about her.
A strong woman who hadn't found her strength yet. Gotcha.
That sounds about right.
Yep.
Oh my goodness.
All right.
Do we have time for a song?
No.
No.
We're not playing Grape Ninja Gum. Throughout Scripture, the women of the Bible show us what it means to walk in strength, faith, and grace. Whether it's Esther's courage, Ruth's loyalty, or Mary's obedience, like them, we're reminded that true impact comes not from power or position, but from a heart that trusts God's calling and moves boldly in love and purpose. And as we look at those stories brought to life by Studio Ghibli through the lens of faith, Let us be reminded that the greatest adventures aren't just on the screen. They are in how we choose to live out God's love, hope, and grace each day. Join us as we close in prayer. Father God, I thank you for Princess Mininoke. I thank you for another blessed year, and I pray for another blessed year ahead. And let her, as she grows, remember the example of the godly women throughout your word, Father God. How they overcame, how they composed themselves, how they acted toward others, and the compassion and strength that they had, Father God. And let us also remember, Father God, the many lessons that your word holds for all of us in our lives. And God, we ask that you open our eyes to see you in the wonder and the lessons and the beauty around us, even in the worlds created by artists and animators. Let our passion for anime draw us closer to your truth. In Jesus' name, amen.
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 Thanks for hanging out with us on Rev's Otaku Talk Ghibli Fest. Make sure to subscribe on your favorite podcast platform, and don't forget to like and follow us on Facebook at Rev's Otaku Talkers and on X at Rev's Otaku Talk. We'd love to hear from you. So drop a comment, leave a review, and share your favorite God and anime moments with the community. Also, check out Rev's Otaku Shop and grab some awesome merch. And don't miss out on a bag of Rev's Konkohi coffee. The link is in the description below. Until next time, keep your anime collection strong and your faith stronger. See you later, guys.
Take care.
Bye.
Crown, can you keep it up? Listener mail and fan debates. We love the art the Lord creates. From Studio Ghibli to Naruto, God speaks in ways you didn't know. Stories rise like rising sun. We break them down one by one. Chew, this ain't just hype, it's revelation. Anime with holy inspiration. Otaku life with transformation. Faith and fandom, no limitation. It's Revs! Otaku Talk! From JoJo's post to Spirit Lead, we laugh, reflect, and plant that seed. It's Revs! Otaku Talk! So hit that play, don't walk away. Let's geek and grow in Jesus' way. O-T-A-K-U, talking truth in all we do. Revs crew, rolling through. Faith meets fandom just for you.
Princess Mononoke, I know that you were just so disappointed that Grape Ninja Gum did not show up on your birthday episode. So, this is my birthday present to you. Have fun.
Great Ninja Gum, so cool. Taste is bold and kind of sweet, like the great Tylenol treat. Best escape on busy streets. Chew it up, wow, wow, now. Chew it up now. Purple power burst and pop. Silly flavor never stops. Childhood memories unlock. Try it and you just can't stop. Super chewy purple fun. Just one bite and you're spun. Great Ninja Gum, so cool. Taste is bold and kind of sweet, like a great Tylenol treat. Best escape on busy streets. Chew it up, wow, wow. Chew it up now, now.
I had it. I lost it. It went away. Where are you at?